The latest and greatest or value for your money. What is the most important thing to you? Now, I'm going to tell you right now, this is not going to be a short video. This is going to be somewhat of a rant because we got to talk about this. And I believe today now more than ever, this is important. Now, I know there's some people out there that they believe in the latest and the greatest is the best. Every time a new device comes out, they got to have it. That's fine. If that's what you like doing, I don't have no problem with that. I'm not hating on you. If you can afford it, that's cool. If you trade in and, get good value, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But for me, today, it's all about value for your money. I'm just sick and tired of so many of these manufacturers messing over the consumer, and more people are holding on to their older devices than getting these new ones. I mean, think about this. Everybody, we all live in this world together, and we see how high inflation is, how high everything is getting, especially food. You mean to tell me a smartphone is more important than food or more important than paying your bills? No. Now, I'm like anybody else. I love smartphones. As you can see, I got a bunch of them. Now, I didn't pay a bunch of money for all of these smartphones. I waited for a long time for a lot of them for the price to drop dramatically because there was no way I was going to pay full retail price for them. I wasn't, because to me, they're just, some of them are just not worth it. Not all. And I got a lot of devices on this table. I got the Pixel 6 Pro. I got the Fold 4, the Vivo X Note, the original Fold, the OnePlus 8 Pro, the OnePlus, excuse me, the Samsung Note 10 Plus, the OnePlus 12, the Samsung S23 Ultra, the S9 Plus, the ROG 5, the S20 Ultra, the Mi 11 Ultra, the Note 9, and the Note 20 Ultra. These are all the devices that's sitting on this table. Now, what I want to talk about, what's more important to you? Is it you have to have the latest and the greatest, or you want value for your money? Now, I'm going to have something to say about 7 different manufacturers, Samsung being one. And I got a list of things that I want to talk about, of things they removed from their devices. I'm also going to be talking just briefly about Apple. Now, the reason why I say briefly, because I don't own any Apple products. I mean, I have an Apple computer and I have an Apple iPod, which I don't use, but I mean, I really don't use Apple products. Now, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with Apple products. They still outsell Samsung in this country. So there's nothing wrong with Apple if you like Apple. But I'm only going to speak briefly on Apple because I don't own any Apple products. So I'm only going to speak briefly on them. Also, I'm going to be talking about Google. Also, Sony. Briefly on Sony because I don't own any Sony products. I don't like Sony smartphones only because they're so skinny. And I don't like, or narrow. I don't like narrow devices. So, and they're very, very expensive. To me, too expensive. I'm going to be talking about Xiaomi, Vivo, and OnePlus. So I have something to say about all of these companies. Some I'm going to talk about more than others. Samsung probably the company I'm going to talk about the most, with the most that they've taken away from their devices, because I have more Samsung devices than I have any other device. And, I can't say loyal to them, so to speak, but I really like Samsung mainly because of the software. That's the only reason why they keep me with them, is because of the software experience. I love One UI more than I love any other software, Android software out there on the market. Now, there's other ones that I really enjoy and I think are great, but Samsung is number one for me when it comes to software. But I want to talk about, what Samsung has done over the years, how they've evolved, and not evolved in a good way, but in a very negative way, in my opinion. Now, for those of you that just going to disagree, that's fine. You have your opinions. You can disagree with me if you want, but I know there's a lot of other people out there that will understand where I'm coming from and agree with me when I list these things. Now, I'm going to talk about remove features and items from their smartphones, things they started doing starting in 2010. This is when I started noticing all these changes. And the thing that really angered me the most is that they removed all of these different features, but yet they kept charging more and more money. See, that's what angers me. Now, if you're going to, as far as I'm concerned, if you're going to charge me more money, then I want more stuff. Don't take away things. Don't give me less, but charge me more. I don't like that. And I don't think anyone out there should like that if you got a brain. Why would you be okay with paying way more money but getting less product? I mean, it makes no sense. It's like going to a restaurant, paying $50 for a dish that after you finish eating, you're still hungry. I mean, really hungry because you got maybe a 2.5 ounce piece of meat. You got an ounce of vegetable and a half ounce of starch. And you got a 6 ounce drink of water. And you pay $50 for that. You shouldn't be satisfied with that. So same thing with these smartphones. You want value for your money. It matters, or it should matter. All right, let's talk about it. Now, with Samsung, first thing they started doing, they started following Apple with some things. They removed the headphone jack. And a lot of true headphone jack users were outraged. I'm one of them, because there was absolutely no need to remove the headphone jack. And I'm going to tell you why. With the Note 9, it was their last flagship Samsung device to have a headphone jack. And that phone is IP68 water and dust resistant. Headphone jack, IP68 water and dust resistant. What reason was there to remove it? The phone was fully water and dust resistant. So that made no sense to me. I didn't like that. Next, they took away something that was very important to a lot of people. Now, maybe not so much now because, people have gotten used to not having it, but I'm not used to, I still don't like it, is expandable storage. Okay. The last device to have expandable storage was the Note 20 Ultra and the S20 Ultra, which is right here. The last two Samsung flagship devices to give you expandable storage. I don't like that they removed that. There was no reason for that. That gave you that, to me, that added a lot of value to the device because you could expand the storage. You could pretty much record, take photos, store movies, music on your phone as to your heart content because, they never went past 2 terabytes. They went up to 1 terabyte, which is more than enough storage. I mean, that's 1,000 gigs. So that's more than enough storage on your device. But it was nice to have that option. That's something they took away. Next thing is the iris sensor. The iris sensor was something that was on the Note 9 as well as the S9, the S9 Plus. I love that because it gave you another layer of security where you could open up the phone with your eyes. It was very secure because I was able to use it with my banking app. And I loved it because it was much faster than Face Unlock. Samsung's Face Unlock has always been pretty much crap. I don't know about the S24 Ultra. I couldn't tell you because I don't have that device, but it's always been crap. But the iris sensor was much faster and more reliable, and it opened every time. And even in pitch black condition, all it had to do was read your irises. It would open immediately. So I love that. And that's something they removed with the Note 10 Plus. Didn't like that at all. Next, the LED notification sensor is something that you got on the Note 9 as well as the S9 Plus. Now, that's something you actually get on the ROG 5. They actually have that because they have a bezel at the top. But that LED notification center was cool because when you got a text message, it will blink a certain color. When you got a regular, regular notification, it will blink a certain color. And also when you charge the device, it was red. And then as soon as it was fully charged, it would turn green. So you would always know when your device was fully charged, whether you were close to it or not. And I like that option. But that's something they took away when they removed the bezels all around the phone. They just totally took that away. I don't like that. And you shouldn't like that either. See, you're losing value. You're stripping away things. Things that they didn't have to take away. Now I understand they wanted to get a bezel-less look and all that, but there's ways they could have did. They just could have made the bezel thinner, but they still could have kept those things in place. Next, the heart rate monitor. Now I know this is not a big deal to most people, honestly, because if you wear a smartwatch, you can monitor your heart rate on your watch, no big deal. But that's still something they didn't have to remove. It was right back next to the camera. The Note 9 is something, a device that had it last, and also the S9 Plus. After those two devices, they removed it. Next, now this is a big deal to me. Maybe not a big deal to most of you nowadays, but MST, magnetic secure transmission. That's something they removed as well, meaning you could have used your device on older credit card terminals. And that was important because it didn't matter if it was old or not. You could use it. Now with the newer ones, they removed it. So now you can't use it. And that's disappointing. That's very, very, very disappointing. Something also Samsung did not have to remove. Next, you get no charger in the box nowadays. No charger. And that makes no sense to me. I mean, think about this, y'all. You're going to go out there and pay $1,200, $1,300, $2,000 for a device, and they won't even put a charger in the box. Are you kidding me? I mean, seriously? And you guys are all right with that? I'm sorry. That is unacceptable for any company that won't give their customers a charger in the box to charge their device. I mean, that's just shameful, in my opinion. Shameful. Next, no case in the box. Now, that's something. Now, I will say this. For Samsung's flagship phones, I don't remember them giving you a case. But I do remember them giving you a case for the budget phones, or the mid-range devices. I do remember them giving you at least a case for those. Now, I don't know why they never gave a case for the flagship devices. I don't understand that. But even with the budget phones today, now they won't even give you a case. They've taken the case away. Don't like that. Even a budget device, you can't even get a case now. Next, no headphones in the box. Something Samsung used to always give you. Like with the Samsung devices, I remember when I first was with Samsung, when I first had my first Samsung device, which was the S4. It was such a pleasant unboxing experience because you open up the box and it was everything in the box. I mean, it was just so nice. It was like, oh man, I got this and I get that and I get this and I get that. Oh, that is so cool. You get all of this stuff. I just thought it was such a pleasant experience, and I felt like the company respected me as a consumer. And I guess some of y'all out there now, y'all don't care, how the manufacturers treat you. They just present you something new and you just feel like it's just better than what you had. So you just take it and it doesn't matter what they give you with it. I'm just not like that. I just don't roll like that. And I'm not okay with that. And you shouldn't be either. Headphones in the box. The Note actually, it was the S20 Ultra, and the Note 20 Ultra was the last two devices where they gave you a pair of AKG headphones. After that, no headphones in the box. Crazy. Next, no Bluetooth S Pen available for the foldable devices. Now, I mean, seriously, y'all need to think about that. Y'all need to think about that. A $2,000 device, and they don't even make a Bluetooth S Pen for it. Don't even make a Bluetooth S Pen for it. $2,000. Isn't that insane? That is absolutely insane. Now, check this out. Next, no ability to even use the S Pen. If you just go and buy S Pen, what you got to do, you can't even use the S Pen on the cover display. I'm talking about the cover display, the front display. No S Pen compatibility on the front display. And we're talking now, we're into the 6th year of the Fold and still can't use the S Pen on the front cover. It's ridiculous. Unbelievable. Next, no flagship cameras on the Z Fold series. Now I don't get this. You could give the S series flagship cameras, but you refuse to put flagship cameras on a $2,000 device. They've been giving us the same cameras for the last 3 consecutive years. No changes whatsoever, the same cameras. It is just outrageous. And I hear a lot of, YouTubers talking about it. They're saying Samsung still won't make any changes. Why can't we get the cameras that's on the S series on the Fold series? And I totally agree with you, especially for that much money. Next, poor wired charging speeds on Samsung devices. I'm sorry, 45 watt charging is a joke. When there's devices out there that go from 65 watts up to 120 watts. I'm sorry, that's unacceptable. 45 watts is a absolute joke. Absolute joke. And they've been doing this now for the last 4 years on the S series. And some of the, matter of fact, no, not all the S series, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, with the S21, it was 25 watts. And I don't think they went up to 45 until the S22. Yeah, that's when they went up to 45. So they was 45 for the S20. Think about that. 45 watts for the S20, but then dropped it down to 25 for the S21. Now, what sense does that make? Why would you take the wattage down? And then with the S22, you take it back up. And now it's still stuck on 45 for the 22, the 23, and the 24. Same wattage. No changes. It's ridiculous. And of course, the price has gone up. Every year the price goes up. So $1,300 and you're still dealing with 45. That's outrageous to me. It doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry. Next, poor wireless charging on their devices. 15 watts. Are you kidding me? Come on, Sam. 15 watts wireless charging. That is disgraceful. I'm just running out of words to try to understand what this company is doing. I just don't get that. I really don't. The 45 watt charger was bad enough with the wired, but just 15 watts? Are you kidding me? There are budget devices out there that wirelessly charge faster than Samsung devices. I mean, faster than the flagship devices. It is just, I just can't understand that. I just can't understand that. No 2-day battery life on any of their flagship devices. With Samsung devices, you're good for 1 day. That's it. 1 day. And that's ridiculous. All this technology out there, it seems like everybody can make their phones last longer than Samsung. They just can't figure out a way to optimize the battery on their flagship to last more than a day. And I just don't get that. Next, removing 512 gigs from their foldable devices. The original Fold, when it was released, of course, those of you that follow smartphones, you know that that phone was $2,000 when it came out. And it came with 512 gigs of storage, which I thought was fair. Now, I was angry that it was no expandable storage or a headphone jack on it. And the reason why I was upset, because you're talking $2,000. And then the wired charging was only 15 watts and the wireless was 10. So there was some issues I had with some of that stuff, but 512 I thought was cool. Now I think it should have been a terabyte. I mean, $2,000. I mean, that price was unheard of. I never thought at that time that I would ever see a phone for $2,000, but they did have 512 on it, which I respected. But think about this. So the next following year, they come out with the Fold 2. Same price, $2,000, but they take away the 512 and give you 256. Seriously, this is real. I'm not capping. This is real. And check this out. Now with the original Fold, they gave you a case. They gave you a charging brick, of course, and they gave you wired earbuds. in a really nice presentation, the way the box just unfolded. I thought it was really, really cool. I thought the presentation was very, very nice. But with the Fold 2, all you get is a charger. No case, no wired earbuds. I mean, no wireless earbuds. So, check this out now. So they take away the 512 with the Fold 2. They take away the case and they take away the earbuds, but still charge you the same exact price. There's nothing but truth I'm talking about on right now. Nothing but truth. Next, removing the wireless earbuds, the case, and the charger from their foldables. So with the Z Fold 3, you didn't even get a charger. No charger. It's bad enough that you lost the 512, you lost the wireless earbuds, you lost the case. Now you can't even get a charger for a phone that was still close to $2,000. Next, no improvements to the S Pen. I mean, there's been really no improvements to it. You know, it writes a little better. You know, it yeah, writes a little better. That's about it. I mean, there has been absolutely no innovation in years with the S Pen. Zero. Even with the software itself, zero innovation, nothing added to it whatsoever. I mean, seriously, but they keep asking us to pay more and more money. The S Pen next. The S Pen is made with cheaper materials. Now, I don't know how many of you out there has a Note 4. If you're still rocking it, I know that phone is ancient, but I still actually have a Note 4. And the S Pen on that device was so sturdy. I mean, seriously, when you squeeze it, you felt like you were squeezing something that had good quality. Like you couldn't easily break that. But with the S Pens now, they're smaller and they feel like toys. Like I want something that feels substantial in my hand. I mean, that really felt like an actual pen, and it had a nice thickness to it, a good length to it. It just felt premium. But these newer pens, it's just plastic, and you could easily break that thing, easily. So I don't like the cheaper materials with the S Pen at all. Next, no Samsung DeX on any of their flip phones, but at the same time, they're going to charge you flagship prices. Now, that is just so disrespectful. That's just a slap in the face to consumers. Because I've heard a lot of people say, why no Samsung DeX? $1,000, but no Samsung DeX. Now, I know some of you out there don't care about that, but there's people out there that actually do. Remember, people, it's about value. That's what I'm trying to get through to y'all. Value. Next, they removed the IR blaster. Now I'm still on Samsung and I'm at number 22. No IR blaster. That's something they had on the Note 4. And for some unknown weird reason, they just removed it from their devices. Now I know the only person you hear something like that from is Flossie Carter and me. But still, it's about value once again. Why wouldn't you want a universal remote control on your flagship device that you paid over $1,000 for? Why wouldn't you want that? Next, they removed Samsung Video. Now, for some of you out there, you're not going to care about that. I actually do, because I love Samsung Video. Now, some people say, oh, they added it to the gallery. No, they didn't. It's not the same. It don't function the same. It don't look the same. It's not the same. It's just not. I already showed that in one of my videos I did a while ago. It is not the same. I don't like that they removed Samsung Video. Next, they changed the always on display. So now when you, let me show, where's my S20? Did I turn it on? Okay, unfortunately it's turned off, but I showed this before in other videos. The always on display, this is the way it used to be. See how it's colored? See how big they are? Okay, now with the newer ones, everything is much smaller and everything is white. There was absolutely no reason for them to change the always on display. No reason whatsoever. But of course, they did that. And I don't like that. And that's something that you shouldn't like either. Next, now this is a feature that I only heard one person say something about in my comment section a while ago. And it's something that I actually used when Samsung had it, and all of a sudden it just disappeared. Schedule text messaging. You could literally schedule a text message. That was so cool. I love that feature. Now, I don't know when Samsung removed it, but I remember when it was there, I used to use it a lot. Send out, because, like in the morning, like when I went to work, me and my, wife went to work at different times. So I would type out a text message, then schedule it for it to go at a time where I thought, she'd be on her way to work, she'll see it, and then she could respond. I love that. I don't know why they removed that. I thought that was such a cool feature to have. But once again, something else they took away. Next, they removed the pre-installed screen protector. You can't even get a screen protector, even if it's just plastic film or whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's just a way of protecting your phone, until you decide to put a screen protector on yourself, or you just like the fact that they cared enough to, put something on my screen to protect my phone, and, until a time that I decide to get a screen protector. But you can't even get that. They took that away. Something else they took away. They just keep taking away more and more stuff. Remember, I keep trying to emphasize to y'all, it's about value. And the last thing that they took away, now there could be some more. I didn't list everything, but I listed a lot, things that I can remember. Last thing, they removed the S Pen replacement tips. That's something you used to get. The last time you got S Pen replacement tips was with the Note 9. Now I know some of you saying, "Oh, I ain't never ever replaced my S Pen tips." I haven't either, but that's not the point. The point is they gave you value. They gave you a lot for your money. You felt special. You felt like you mattered. That's what it's about. You want a company make you feel like you matter to them. I mean, seriously, what was wrong with having those? I thought that was really cool. Now, some of you out there, y'all Samsung apologists, you want to have an excuse or give a reason why Samsung removed this or why they removed that and blah, blah, blah. You can give whatever excuse you want. I don't even want to hear it. So don't waste your time typing out no super long book paragraph in the comment section, because I'm not going to read it. I'm just not going to read it because I don't want to hear about excuses. All I know is that they removed a ton of things from their devices, but yet they keep charging me more. Things that they did not have to remove. And they keep charging us more and more money. Think about this really quick. During the pandemic, everybody was in, nobody could go out. People, a lot of people was losing their jobs. People got laid off. It was bad. It was bad for a lot of people. And then Samsung comes out with the S20 Ultra. And they had the nerve to charge $1,400 for that device during a pandemic. Utterly ridiculous. And then the cameras on the back had issues with focusing. So, y'all try and figure that out. All right, let's talk about Apple real quick. First thing, they removed the headphone jack. Used to be a headphone jack on Apple. They was the first company that I know of to remove it, and then Samsung followed suit about 2 years later. Next, they removed the headphones from their box. They used to give you headphones in the box with their devices. Next, they decided to remove the charger from the box, which I think is utterly ridiculous. They was the first to do it. And of course, Samsung followed suit as well on that. Next, they have poor wired charging speeds. I mean, it takes forever to charge an Apple phone. Now, maybe the new ones charge a little bit faster, but not much faster, honestly. I mean, I'm constantly seeing people plugged in the walls, at my job all day long, plug, because the phone, and then it takes forever for it to charge. So I think that's pretty pathetic that Apple devices charge that slow. Also, they have poor wireless charging speeds. So very, very poor. You're not getting value for your money, especially for as much as they charge for their devices. All right, let's talk about the Google Pixel devices. First thing, very poor wired charging. The 30-watt charging or 35 or whatever it is now, it's still pathetic. It still takes over an hour and a half to fully charge a device. It's a joke. Very poor wireless charging speeds. They're even slower. Very poor reverse wireless charging speeds. It's a joke, 4.5. And I forgot to mention that with Samsung also, and like I said, it was so many things. Their reverse wireless charging is 4.5, which is an absolute joke. 4.5. And you got Xiaomi, you got OnePlus, you got all these different manufacturers that give you at least 10. And Samsung only giving you 4.5. It is disgraceful. And next, with the still dealing with Google and the Pixel, no charger in the box. So they followed suit with Apple and Samsung. Now you can't get a charger with them now. So basically, with Apple, Samsung, Google, there's absolutely no unboxing experience. So I honestly still to this day don't even know why all these YouTubers waste their time doing unboxings. There's nothing to unbox. The only thing is in there is a phone and a charging cable. And Sony won't even give you a charging cable at this point. So I don't even know. I think they should just say give their first impressions. But an unboxing, there's nothing to unbox. It's a joke. Next, no headphones in the box. They don't even give you headphones. Next, no case in the box. Still talking about the Google Pixel phones. Next, they removed the motion sense. Now, the motion sense was on, I believe it was the Pixel 4 XL, where you could wave your hand and it would go to the next song or whatever, next video. And I thought that was cool to have something like that. I actually used it. I thought it was really cool. I don't know why they removed that. They should have kept that. Next, they removed the squeezeology. You used to be able to squeeze the phone to activate the Google Assistant. I thought that was really cool because no other phone did that. And I think, if anything, they should have just upgraded it where you could squeeze the phone to, make it do anything. Maybe open up the camera, maybe take a picture, or maybe to start recording, a voice recorder. Just be able to access different apps. I think that would have been cool, but of course they removed that. And the last thing that I really can't stand about Google phones the most, very limited in customization. I mean, they invented Android and you barely can customize their devices. I absolutely hate that. And I always got to download Nova Launcher so I can have the freedom to change things like I want. I absolutely hate the Pixel UI. I hate it. I hate it because of the lack of customization. But that's me. I can't speak for somebody else. All right, let's talk briefly about Sony. First, no charger in the box. So they right in cahoots with everybody else. No charging cable in the box. That's where they really, that's when they really got ridiculous, because Flossie Carter always really gets on them. He used profanity when he mentions Sony, and I can understand it. I'm not saying, you should, but I mean, I understand how he feels. They don't even give you a cable. All right, next. No headphones in the box. So no charging cable, no charger, and no headphones. Now, I don't know a whole lot about Sony, so I'm only going to be brief, like I said, with them and Apple, because I never owned a Sony device. Let's talk about Xiaomi. Now, Xiaomi, I don't have a lot of problems with them. I do have some issues, but they definitely give you more value than Samsung, than Google, Apple, and Sony. They give you a little bit more value for your money. Now, just a few issues I have with them is like they give you no expandable storage, which, I don't like that. No headphone jack. No 4K at 60 on the front facing camera. I just don't get that. Like, I got this Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra and I absolutely love this device, but I just can't understand why they didn't put 4K at 60 frames per second on that front camera. It's not even 4K at 30 on this phone at all. Just 1080p at 60. And this phone was very, very expensive when it came out, but they did give you a rear display. They gave you awesome cameras. They gave you a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. They gave you 67 watt wired charging, 67 watt wireless charging, 10 watt reverse wireless charging. Great dual stereo speakers. Okay. Quad HD, 120 hertz. You pretty much got everything. 100 IP68 water and dust resistance. You got the full package. But few things, like I said, no expandable storage, no headphones, no 4K on the front facing camera, and no headphones in the box. Those are I only got 4 issues with them when it came to this device. 4. Samsung is almost like 30. Let's talk Vivo real quick. So I have the Vivo X Note, which is this bad boy right here. I absolutely love this phone. I just wish the dual stereo speakers were a little bit better, but I just had a few issues with them. No headphone jack, no expandable storage, no headphones in the box, and same thing, no 4K at 60 frames on the front facing camera. You only get 1080p at 60. I don't get that. But what I will say for the Vivo X Note, the unboxing experience was unbelievable. You got check out my Vivo X Note unboxing and first impressions, and you'll see what I'm talking about. They gave you such a nice box. You slide the box out. It's like a drawer, and you get a case. You get the charger in the box. You got headphones in the box. It was a complete unboxing experience. It was beautiful. I loved it. Probably my favorite unboxing since the fold, the original fold. That was the last great unboxing I had. But that was definitely the second. And it was absolutely, I felt valued as a customer. I felt appreciated. You know, it was worth the money that I spent. It was downright worth it. But at least with that phone, you got that wonderful unboxing experience. You got 80-watt wired charging, 50-watt wireless charging, 10-watt reverse wireless charging, and tons of customization. IP68 water and dust resistance. Okay, dual stereo speakers. Man, you got the whole flagship experience. I only had 4 issues with them. 4. Other than that, it's an awesome device. And it's huge. 6.9 inches? No, 7 inches. It's huge. I love that device. 4 issues. And last, let's talk about quickly OnePlus. Now, let me say this really quick, and I'm about to wrap up here. And I thank, whoever stayed this long, I thank you very much, and I appreciate you. The OnePlus 12, this bad boy right here, this is going to be my phone of the year, more than likely. This device is absolutely awesome. The unboxing experience was great. The performance, everything, I love everything about this phone except a few things. And let me just point those out. Only 5 issues. And they're not the biggest issues. I mean, they're important to me, but I could live with it. No headphone jack, which is the norm nowadays, but I still don't like it. No expandable storage, which is the norm today, but I still don't like it. No 4K at 60 frames on the selfie camera, which is, I don't like that either, but you do get 4K at 30. So I can live with that, okay? Number 4, for some reason in America, they removed the case from the box. You used to get a case in the box here in America. I don't know why they changed that. Okay, because with the last one that I bought before the 12, I had bought the OnePlus 8, and they definitely gave you a case. But the one I got it from Giztop, which is overseas, and you get a case. But I know most people are going to get it off of Amazon or whatever. But if you want a case, I would say get it off Giztop. But they removed the case here in America. I don't know why. I don't like that. And last, no headphones in the box. That's something OnePlus used to give you years ago. They removed that from the box, but they at least still give you a charging brick. Unlike those other manufacturers I mentioned earlier. So, is it about the latest and the greatest, y'all? Or do you want value for your money? It's up to you. You got to make up in your mind. You could disagree with everything I said here. You can say, oh, I'm just being sensitive and I'm being critical and I need to move on and this is the future and it is what it is. You can say all of that for you. Because if you want to keep spending your hundreds and thousands of dollars on this foolishness, because you're just getting the upgraded processor and upgraded cameras that's really not that upgraded anyway. I mean, there's still phones that I have here that's older than this that still take great photos and videos. Older than, I don't even have everything on the table that I have. I have at least about 10 more phones that I didn't put on the table. At least that. But I couldn't fit everything on this table. It's just not enough room. But it's about value to me. Things are expensive. You know, people are holding on to their phones longer. And think about this. There's really has been no real innovation with devices today. There's really no innovation. There's really nothing that jumps out at you. I mean, this was innovation with this rear screen. I'm sorry, I don't have it on. This rear display here on the Mi 11 Ultra and my LG Wing. I mean, the Fold, okay, it's innovation, but the Wing was just different. It's an eye turner. And I'm sorry I don't have that on here because, like I said, I couldn't fit all my phones on this table. But I love that LG Wing. LG Wing and the Mi 11 Ultra, real innovation. The Fold, it's all right. It's cool. But innovation, like the Wing and this was the last two devices that really jumped out at me. So that's it, y'all. I mean, like I said, is the latest and the greatest, or do you want value for your money? Thank you all for taking the time to view this content. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry it ran so long, but I did say in the beginning it was not going to be a short video. All right. I hope everybody out there staying safe, staying well, and I'll check you guys out in the next one. Peace.